The locker room echoed with the sound of dripping water as the last of the team left. I was alone with my best friend Liam when he turned to me, his face pale. "Ethan, I'm in love with you," he said, and then he kissed me. I shoved him back so hard his shoulder hit the metal locker with a loud bang. My heart hammered against my ribs like I had just run suicides for an hour. "What the hell, Liam?" The words came out hoarse. The taste of his lips still lingered on mine, and that scared me more than anything. We had been best friends since freshman year at Ohio State. We roomed together on road trips, laughed about the same stupid jokes, and pushed each other through every brutal practice. He was the one person I trusted completely. Now he stood there breathing hard, his eyes full of something I had never seen before. He wiped his mouth with the back of his hand. "I've been holding this in for years, Ethan. Every time we sat up talking until 3 in the morning, every time you celebrated a win by hugging me, I felt it. I tried to date girls. I tried to ignore it. But I can't anymore." I grabbed my duffel bag, my hands shaking so bad the zipper would not cooperate. "This is not funny, man. If this is some kind of prank, it is messed up." But even as I said it, I knew it was not a prank. The way his voice cracked, the way his shoulders slumped. It was real. Too real. I pushed past him and walked out into the cold Columbus night. The campus lights blurred as I jogged to my car. My mind would not stop replaying the moment. The kiss had not felt wrong in the way I expected. It had not disgusted me. It had startled me and left me wondering why my stomach had flipped the way it did when I scored the game-winning shot. I drove back to my off-campus apartment in silence. When I got inside, I dropped my bag and sank onto the couch, staring at the ceiling. My phone buzzed. A text from Liam. "Please talk to me. I am sorry I sprang it on you, but I could not keep pretending." I turned the phone face down. Pretending. That word hit hard. Had I been pretending too? I had dated girls. Sarah last semester. Emily before that. It had always felt fine, comfortable even. But never like the fire that one kiss had sparked. I shook my head hard. No, this was not me. I was Ethan Harper, the shooting guard everyone said had NBA potential. My dad, a former Marine and high school coach, had raised me on discipline and traditional values. My mom baked pies for church events and talked about grandkids. My older brother was engaged to his high school sweetheart. Being anything but straight was not an option in my family. It would break them. The next morning practice was hell. I arrived early hoping to avoid him, but Liam was already there lacing up his shoes. He looked at me with those same desperate eyes. "Ethan, we need to talk." "Not here," I muttered, glancing at the door as teammates started filing in. During drills, my shots clanged off the rim. Coach pulled me aside after suicides. "Harper, what is going on with you? You were lights out yesterday." "Personal stuff, coach. It will not affect the team." He gave me a long look but let it go. In the locker room afterward, I changed fast and left without a word to anyone. Liam caught up to me in the parking lot. 5 minutes. That is all I am asking." I sighed and nodded toward a quiet bench under some trees. We sat. The fall wind rattled the leaves. "I do not know what you want me to say, Liam. You are my best friend. This changes everything." "I know it does," he said quietly. "But I had to tell you. Living a lie was killing me. Every time you talked about some girl, I felt like I was dying inside. I just want you to know how I feel. I am not asking for anything right now. Just do not hate me." I looked at him. Really looked. The guy who had my back in every fight on and off the court. The one who drove me home when my car broke down. The one who listened when I worried about letting my dad down. "I do not hate you," I said finally. "I am just lost." We sat in silence for a long time. When I finally stood up to leave, I felt the weight of something new pressing on my chest. A question I had never asked myself before. What if I felt the same way? That question followed me for days. I threw myself into basketball and classes trying to drown it out. But every time I saw Liam in the cafeteria or on the court, the memory of the kiss came back. I started avoiding him, which was hard when we were on the same team. The guys noticed. Marcus, our point guard, asked me after practice one day, you and Liam good? You two are usually attached at the hip. Yeah, everything is fine, I lied. But it was not fine. One night I could not sleep, so I went for a drive and ended up at a party off campus. I met a girl named Rachel. Pretty funny, smart. We talked for hours and I asked her out the next day. Felt like the right move. Proved to myself I was still the same Ethan. The date was okay. We went to a movie, then grabbed pizza. She laughed at my jokes and touched my arm. But when she leaned in for a goodnight kiss, I felt nothing. No spark. Just emptiness. I drove home feeling worse than before. Liam texted me later that night. I saw you with that girl. If you are trying to prove something to yourself, I get it. But please do not shut me out completely. I stared at the message for a long time before replying. Meet me at the park tomorrow after practice. The next day we met again at the same bench. This time Liam came prepared. He told me his story. How he had known since high school but grew up in a small conservative town in Michigan where being gay was not discussed. How he joined basketball to fit in and met me and everything changed. You were the first person who made me feel seen, Ethan. Not just as the gay kid but as me. I listened and something inside me cracked open. I told him about my family. The pressure from my dad to be the perfect son. The fear that if I even questioned this, it would destroy my relationship with them. I do not know what I am, Liam, but I know I care about you. A lot. More than I probably should. He smiled for the first time in days. That is enough for now. Over the next weeks we started talking more. Not about being together but about everything else. Late night phone calls. Walks around campus when no one was around. The tension was there but we kept it emotional. No more kisses. I told myself it was just friendship evolving. But deep down I knew it was more. The guilt ate at me. Every Sunday when I called my mom and she asked if I was seeing anyone, I lied and said no one special. My dad would text me motivational quotes about discipline and manhood. Each one felt like a knife. One afternoon after a tough loss, Liam and I ended up alone in the film room reviewing plays. The conversation turned personal again. What if I do feel the same? I whispered. What does that mean for us? For the team? For my future? He reached out and took my hand. Just for a second. It means we figure it out together. No pressure. But you do not have to live in fear forever. His touch sent warmth through me. For the first time I did not pull away. But as we left the room I saw Marcus standing in the hallway. He gave us a strange look. I told myself it was nothing. But the seed of fear had been planted. The fear grew. Marcus started making comments in the locker room. Little jokes about Liam and me being joined at the hip. The team laughed, but I saw the glances. Coach even pulled Liam aside one day about team chemistry. Nothing direct, but the pressure was building. Meanwhile, my feelings for Liam deepened in ways I could not ignore. We started meeting in secret places. A quiet coffee shop off campus. His car parked by the river. We talked about dreams, fears, and what a future might look like if things were different. One night we sat in his car watching the lights on the water. I think I am falling for you. I admitted, my voice barely above a whisper. He turned to me, eyes shining. We did not kiss, but he rested his head on my shoulder, and for a moment the world felt right. But the world outside was closing in. My parents announced they were coming to visit for a home game. Mom wanted to meet my friends. Dad wanted to watch me play. Panicked. How could I introduce Liam as my best friend when everything had changed? I started pulling away again. Liam noticed. You are scared, he said during one of our secret talks. I get it. But running from this will only hurt us both. I tried to prove I was still the old Ethan. I asked Rachel out again. We went to dinner and this time I kissed her goodnight. Felt forced. When I told Liam the next day, he looked devastated. If you need to explore that, I understand. But do not lie to yourself, Ethan. It is not fair to her or to me. The argument that followed was our first real fight. He accused me of using her to hide. I accused him of pushing too hard. We both said things we regretted. I stormed off feeling angry and ashamed. The next practice was tense. Marcus cornered me in the showers. "Dude, what is going on with you and Brooks? People are talking." "Nothing is going on," I snapped. But the lie tasted bitter. That weekend my parents arrived. The game went well. I scored 20 points. Afterward at dinner, Mom gushed about how proud they were. Dad clapped me on the back and said, "You are becoming a real man's son." The words stung because I felt like a fraud. Later that night Liam texted me, "I miss you. Can we talk?" I did not reply. Instead I lay awake wondering how long I could keep living two lives. The secret did not last. Marcus had seen more than I thought. One evening he walked in on Liam and me in an empty classroom. We were not doing anything physical, just talking close and holding hands. But the look on his face said it all. The next day the rumors started. Whispers in the locker room. Guys stopping conversations when I walked in. Coach called me into his office. "Harper, there are stories going around. About you and Brooks. I do not care what is true, but I need to know if it is affecting the team." I denied everything. "Just friends, coach." He nodded, but I could tell he did not fully believe me. Liam was benched for the next game for attitude issues. He knew why. We met in secret again, this time at my apartment. "This is getting bad," he said. "Marcus told half the team. They are calling us names behind our backs." I paced the room. "What do you want me to do, Liam? Come out and lose everything? My scholarship? My family? My future in basketball?" "I want you to be honest with yourself," he replied. "I love you, Ethan, but I cannot keep being your secret. It is destroying me." His words hit hard. That night we argued again. I said things I wish I could take back. Accused him of being selfish. He left in tears. The next morning the team was ice cold. During practice no one passed me the ball unless they had to. After practice Marcus confronted me in the parking lot. "You are dragging the whole team down with your drama, Harper. Fix it or get out." I went home and called my sister. She was the only one I could talk to. When I told her everything she was quiet for a long time. "Ethan, you have to decide what kind of life you want. But hiding will only make it worse." My parents called the next day. Someone from the team had apparently reached out to my dad through a mutual connection. The conversation was brutal. Dad yelled about dishonor and sin. Mom cried and asked what she did wrong. I hung up shaking. When Liam came over later I broke down. We held each other and for the first time we kissed again. Felt like coming home. But the cost was rising fast. The confrontation with my family happened in person. They drove up unannounced. Dad stormed into my apartment. "Is it true? Are you with that boy?" His face was red with anger. Mom stood behind him, tears streaming. I tried to explain, but the words would not come right. Dad called it a phase, a mistake. He said if I continued, I was no longer welcome at home. Mom begged me to think of the family. "We love you, Ethan, but this is not the life we raised you for." Liam waited outside during the fight. When my parents left he came in and saw me on the floor. He held me while I cried. "I cannot lose them," I whispered. "But I cannot lose you either." The weeks that followed were the hardest. The team dynamic was broken. I was benched for 2 games. Liam and I tried to make it work in secret, but the stress was too much. We fought more. One night he said, "If you choose them over us, I will understand. But it will break me." I made the choice. Or at least I tried to. I told Liam we needed to stop. That I had to focus on my family and career. He looked at me with such pain it felt like a physical blow. "I knew this might happen," he said quietly. "But it still hurts like hell." He walked out. I sat alone in my apartment feeling empty. The betrayal was on both sides. I had betrayed him by choosing safety. He had betrayed our friendship by forcing the truth into the light. The team slowly thawed, but the trust was gone. My dad texted once saying he was praying for me. Felt hollow. Months passed. I threw myself into basketball and graduated with decent stats but no NBA interest. Liam transferred to another school after the season. We did not speak for a long time. I dated a girl named Claire for a while. She was kind, but I never felt the connection I had with him. My family welcomed me back like nothing had happened, but the silence around the topic was deafening. One day I saw a post online. Liam had come out publicly and was playing at his new school. He looked happy, stronger. The sight stirred something deep inside me. I realized I had been living half a life. The fear of losing my family and place in the world had made me sacrifice the one person who truly saw me. I reached out to him. We met for coffee when he was back in town. The conversation was careful at first, then honest. He had moved on, but the love had not disappeared completely. "You taught me to be brave, Ethan," he said, "even if it hurt." I told him I was sorry, that choosing safety had been the easy wrong decision. He nodded. We both paid a price. Walking away that day, I felt a kind of awakening. The world had not ended when I admitted the truth to myself. But the scars remained. Family relationships were strained. Some friends had drifted. The path forward was still unclear. Looking back, I wonder if the cost was worth it. Did I make the right choice by trying to protect my family and career, or did I betray the most authentic part of myself and the person who loved me unconditionally? What would you have done in my place?